There's no reason to be scared. The infections that we are seeing at the moment are mild. Hi, this is Dr. Anton. It's the end of 2021 and we are in the fourth wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm still being contacted by people who are absolutely terrified of becoming infected with the virus that is doing the rounds at the moment, while in my opinion the virus is. And one of the reasons for this video is to share with you that this infection is mild, firstly, and secondly, how we are treating this infection and also what symptoms we are seeing. Let me just say, before I give you my own experience with regards to what symptomatology I'm seeing and how I'm treating my patients, is I did an informal survey with some of the large GP practices here in Gauteng and some practices in other provinces to get an opinion on the ground of how this infection is panning out. Now, firstly, not all our patients in these practices, myself included, are testing positive for the Omicron variant of COVID. And this is now PCR and antigen testing. So there's definitely other viruses in the system as well, and people are getting other infections as well. We are seeing vaccinated and unvaccinated people becoming infected, all of them with mild disease. The typical duration is anywhere from 2 to 7 days. There's coughing, there's fever, sore bodies, severe sore throat in some people, and earache in some other patients. But at the end of the day, all the infections are mild. We're also very grateful that we are not seeing that sudden drop in oxygen between day 6 and day 12, the typical cytokine storm. So we're not seeing people that need oxygen or oxygen at home. We're also not seeing so many people needing hospital admission. All these features that I'm seeing in my practice and from my informal survey was echoed by Dr. Angelique Coetzee, the chairperson of the South African Medical Association, where she also reported seeing patients with mild illness. And it was also echoed by Dr. Richard Friedland, the CEO of the largest private hospital group, Netcare, where he reported that they're not seeing the same hospitalizations that we saw in the really bad waves of COVID. Dr. Friedland further commented that he believes this signals the end of the pandemic, as it is following the same pattern as the 1918 flu pandemic or the Spanish flu. Dr. Peter Streicher, PhD, someone who has been following the SARS-CoV-2 pandemic very closely, echoed this statement.
When we look at previous pandemics, this is often how they ended. It ended with a much more transmissible variant that was much less virulent, less deadly. So based on that, that's why I'm cautiously optimistic.
So let's get to the practical side of things. How am I treating people in this current wave? Remember now, some of my patients are not testing positive for SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-2 on PCR or antigen testing. So we are treating a variety of viral pathogens here. But the first thing that I want to share with you today is that you need to calm down. Don't succumb to the fear mongering, which is still very prevalent. And in this fear, this scared state, you are producing more cortisol hormone or cortisol stress hormone, and that tends to suppress the immune system. So take a nice deep breath. This is a fully treatable illness. Remember, when we were in those bad waves of COVID-19, especially wave 2 and 3, I also told you that it is a treatable infection. It was a treatable infection then, and it very much is a treatable infection now. I definitely still use ivermectin. We have more studies now than ever before that shows that there's an effect. It's a broad spectrum product. There's an effect against parasites and bacteria and viruses. And I had the privilege of treating many people through the bad waves of COVID-19 using ivermectin as part of a bigger protocol. Remember now, one thing is not the silver bullet. So ivermectin is part of a larger protocol, but I'm definitely still using it in my patients. And how you obtain it in South Africa is you get your doctor to write you a prescription, and then it gets compounded under Section 14 by a compounding pharmacy, and you can get proper enterically coated tablets or capsules that you can take for this current wave infection. The rest of the protocol is well known for those of you that are following my videos and my Telegram channel, but all of these are important. The aspirin, the zinc, the vitamin D3, the vitamin C, the probiotic. Remember, the probiotic boosting your immune system when you're taking it, and N-acetyl cysteine. I would like to just mention at this point that one of the really positive things I believe that came out of this pandemic is that we realized the importance of having a healthy lifestyle, of exercising, of sleeping enough, of eating a clean diet, but also that the nutrients, these nutrients that I mentioned just now, can form part of a bigger or a larger strategy to reduce or help reduce your risk for diseases like cancer, heart disease, and things like stroke. If you do have comorbidities, then you can take something called quercetin. It's a flavonoid. It helps to push zinc into your cells. It also is a very important immune modulator and actually a lovely flavonoid to take over the long term because of the multiple effects that it has on the human body. Melatonin, magnesium, omega-3, all of these have an effect in supporting the body in fighting infection. Other viral fighting remedies that we know has an effect includes things like saline water sinus flush. This is not just spraying the water up your nose. You can actually do the neti pot style nasal flushing. Things like gargling. You can go to your pharmacy and speak to your pharmacist, ask them for an anti-infective gargle that you can use 3 to 4 times per day while you are, especially in the first few days of the infection, when the viral load is high in your throat and in your sinuses. Steaming with menthol, that helps with your lungs. And then one of my rock stars from this pandemic really is the use of silver, colloidal silvers, but specifically nanosilver. You can use it in small quantities orally during your infection, but you can also nebulize with nanosilver because the lungs are a very good delivery platform for something like silver. And there's actually peer-reviewed research about how the silver can disrupt that spike protein's interaction with your ACE2 receptors, how it inhibits the cytokine storm, and there are actually many other benefits over the long term of using silver. But please use it under the auspices of a doctor who understands the use of colloidal silver, because it can be toxic if you take too much of it over the long term. But in the short term or in the right dosage, it is a very safe, non-toxic intervention. It remains important, however, that you visit your doctor early. One of the key things that we saw in the bad waves of COVID-19 was go to your doctor early. Don't wait till it's late. So we're obviously treating a variety of viral infections at the moment, and allow your doctor to at his discretion decide what to do as you progress through this illness. I do, however, want to reiterate something that I've said many times over the last year. Early cortisone is problematic. So be aware of this, discuss this with your doctor if he wants to give you cortisone. When the viral load is high in the early days of the illness, you don't want to suppress the immune system. So cortisone has to be timed correctly when dealing with coronavirus. And that means that it works better, it's safer to take later on, day 5, day 6 of the infection. I want to just briefly mention one of the newer products that are now being used as a preventative agent for viral infection, even in the treatment, is something called Nigella sativa oil or black cumin seed oil, something which is widely available in South Africa. And there are studies now in COVID-19 patients specifically using Nigella sativa oil showing benefit. So if you want to, over the long term, use this as one of your viral prevention strategies, it's a natural product, it's got very low toxicity, and as I said, it's widely available. The rest of this prevention protocol is something that you can take over the long term. Remember now, every year we will have viral infections. This is as old as the earth itself, so you can use these nutrients in next winter as well. I will, for my patients with comorbidities, definitely next waves of whatever, put them on something like ivermectin, together with the rest of the prevention protocol. When it comes to children, yes, we are seeing more children getting sick at the moment. They also have mild disease, but you can also make sure that their bodies stay healthy. Let them get outside, let them get some sunlight, let them not just play PlayStation the whole day long, let them get some exercise, a clean, low carbohydrate diet, and let them use nutrients that will also support their immune systems to function at an optimal level. For those of you that want to read more about my protocols, you'll find them on my Telegram channel. This is Dr. Anton, and at the end of a very interesting 2 years, sometimes rather difficult 2 years, I want to wish my viewers a blessed and restful festive season and only good wishes for 2022. Thank you.